Hello and welcome to the Nexus Gaming Series Storm Division Qualifier number 2. I am the Crushinator and I will be your caster for this evening for the semi-final matchup between Quaranteam and Team Alexander Fanclub. Hope you're having a good night. Hope you're happy and ready for some great Heroes of the Storm action. Looks like our lobby is loading up now. I'll let them know that I am ready to go whenever they are. You are. Boom. All right. So, before we get right into draft, let's take you over to the map screen and let you know what the current map situation is. Quaranteam choosing to ban away Alterac Pass and Braxis Holdout, and Team Alexander Fanclub has banned away Tomb of the Spider Queen and Cursed Hollow. Our first game of the night, chosen by Team Alexander Fanclub, is going to be Sky Temple. Looking forward to that. All right, our lobby is loading up. We're going to get going here in probably just a minute or two. Taking a look at our two teams here. Quaranteam, this is their second week in the Storm Division qualifiers. Last week, I believe they went out in the semifinals. They got their 50 points, so they're looking to roar back here, get some extra points towards the Storm Division qualification. Team Alexander Fanclub coming in. This is their first week trying to qualify, and they're already in the semifinals, so doing very, very well here. The winner of tonight's match will immediately be headed to the grand finals over on twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series to face the winner of Team Alexander and Regen. So that should be a quite the finals. Looking forward to that. Tetcher's going to have you for the grand finals over on that channel. All right, looks like our teams are getting close to ready here. Taking a look at the map, Sky Temple here. Now, I usually cast a lot of sort of Division C, Division D type stuff, where Sky Temple is avoided like the plague, because Sky Temple's kind of a complicated map once you get down to the real nitty-gritty, to the min-maxing of Sky Temple. There's a lot of dancing around the map, there's a lot of boss control, there's a lot of understanding where you are in relation to the start of the game and which objective will ultimately take down the core. So I'm excited to see these two very experienced teams, very strong teams, on how they play this map versus how I see it with other teams being played. Very, very interesting stuff. Now, one thing, usually I get to prepare a little bit. Usually I've got a whole host of data with these teams. It's through the NGS season, they've played a bunch of games, I get all my notes. But I don't have that. These are, some teams have been together for a while, and some of them are totally brand new. Some of them are new amalgamations. And we're playing at such a high level here that past data may not mean a lot. So I'm excited to see what these drafts turn out and what sort of strategies these teams implement. Should be going in just a moment here. Double checking while we're waiting. How are you guys doing out there? How's everyone doing tonight? Excited for this finale of day 2 of qualifier number 2. It's going to be fun. It's going to be real fun. I'm looking forward to seeing how the entire Storm Division shakes out, because it's not just these qualifiers. We're looking at NGS Season 10 to see teams qualifying that way as well. And we've got quite the prize pool starting to build up here. Let me go ahead and bring that up. What's our prize pool at right now? It's getting kind of high. What do we have? We are at over $1,000. We're at $1,060 so far. That prize pool can still be contributed to. If you head over to Matcherino, put that in the chat real quick. Matcherino, boom. You can head on over there, contribute to the prize pool. And it looks like our teams are ready to go. We've got a draft here. Sky Temple, game number 1. Let's get into it. All right, here we are, Sky Temple. Quaranteam got the first pick, so they get the first ban here. Let's see what they're thinking. Sky Temple, as we talked about, it's a fairly large map. You're thinking about boss control, you're thinking about globals, and you're thinking about point control. The top lane, generally not super important, so I'm guessing we won't see a huge focus on the solo lane here. We are going to see the Abathur ban. This is a map that Abathur can flourish because it is so large and because of the Mule ability, which is, I believe, Abathur's the only one with Mule left. And Sky Temple Mule gets a ton of value just due to the nature of the objective. So we're going to take that off the board. We're not going to worry about that in this game. Team Alexander Fan Club, next to act. Are we going to see another global ban? Are we going to see an assassin ban? It is going to be taking the Cassia off the board. Cassia did receive some nerfs in the last patch, but still performing very, very well. So not too surprising that Team Alexander Fan Club does not want to see the Amazon here on Sky Temple. Lost Viking's going to be banned out, so Quaranteam doesn't really want any XP shenanigans coming out from Team Alexander Fan Club, getting rid of that Abathur, getting rid of that Lost Vikings. They want a nice, straight-up matchup. They probably want to build into the team fight here, if this is their ban strategy. Looking over to Team Alexander Fan Club, they're going to ban away the Li Ming. Li Ming in the hands of a Grandmasters player, very, very strong. So not wanting to deal with those resets is Team Alexander Fan Club. And Weary Day is going to go ahead and snap pick the Ana first thing. Ana, very strong pairing with a number of heroes, especially mages, particularly Li Ming. But we still see some heroes like Mephisto, like Jaina, even something like Malthael can get a lot of work done with that nano boost. The response from Team Alexander Fan Club is going to be Mei, picked up by Jay, and Clazy on the Tassadar. Mei very, very strong in the meta right now. Ice Wall is the only available heroic, though. That is one thing to note. Orphea and Greymane are going to be picked up by Quaranteam. Carbon on that Orphea, and Unaverted picking up the Greymane. Greymane very strong on any map where camp timings are important, especially being able to solo the hard camp later on in the levels. So we're going to have some good macro control coming out from Quaranteam. And Orphea, just a very strong teamfight assassin right now. In the hands of a well-skilled player, can really dance around and do a lot of work. Garrosh going to be banned away from Quaranteam, not wanting to deal with the big brown orc this match. Garrosh has been performing very, very well since the changes to his level 16 and 20. Picking up that seasoned soldier at 16 still makes him a pretty strong threat, where Garrosh used to really fall off in the late game. So Garrosh definitely a high-tier tank to be worried about. Quaranteam is going to ban away the Sergeant Hammer. Once again, just the no shenanigans bans coming out from Quaranteam. They don't want to get cheesed here. They want this to be as straight up a match as possible. They've got the Ana, Orphea, Greymane. Very strong teamfight combo. They don't want to get cheesed in the off lanes. So we'll see what the picks are. Team Alexander Fan Club is going to grab Lucio and Falstad. Falstad, very, very good boss control here on Sky Temple with the Mighty Gust, and of course with the Global, is going to be able to move around the map and control those lanes with ease. Valera is actually going to be grabbed by Cookie Man. Interesting pickup. Not one that we normally see. Jachuggy is going to grab the Johanna here. Valera is going to be able to do a lot of work, particularly into Falstad, and will also be able to harass Tassadar in the back there. So, very cool pickup there from Quaranteam to put some fear into the Team Alexander Fan Club here. We'll see what Any Problem wants to pick up here. They could flex into a lot of different roles with this sort of setup. Any Problem is going to grab the Tychus. Try to ruin Johanna's day here. Alrighty. Draft number 1 is complete. We've got the brawling team fight with a Valera kicker coming out from Quaranteam, and we've got some very high meta heroes along with some fancy map control, boss control coming out from Falstad. We'll see which team comes out on top. It's game number 1, Quaranteam versus Team Alexander Fanclub. Let's get into it. Alrighty, loading in here to game number 1. Should have this up in just a moment. You can see these teams once again here. Very interesting drafts. Looking to see what this Valera does. Looking to see how the Tychus does. And here we go. Game number 1. Let's get into it.
I would prepare.
On the left, in the blue, is Quaranteam with Unaverted playing the Greymane. Carbon will be on the Orphea, Wary Day will be playing Anna, Cookie Man on the Valera, and Jachuggy on the Johanna. On the right, in the red, we have Team Alexander Fanclub with Klatzy on the Tassadar. Clover will be playing Lucio, the Palada will be on Falstad, Jay will be playing May, and Any Problem on the Tychus.
3, 2, 1.
Let's get into it here. Game number 1. On Sky Temple. In terms of stacking quests, we've got Tassadar with that Shock Ray on level 1 as per usual. Falstad did pick up the Bribe talent, so going to be trying to control the map here versus Quaranteam. Valera hanging around the top site, seeing if they can pick that up while Team Alexander Fanclub moves to the mid lane. And both teams are going to be trying to clear this as fast as possible to get into the rotation. Jay catching one in the Blizzard. Tassadar with the wall follow-up, but Carbon self-healing a little bit too much there. And Quaranteam will start the rotation between mid and bot. Falstad going to head up to the top lane with that fly. Valera lurking around the top lane, going to be going to burst that Falstad as both teams enter their 4-player rotation. Orphea hanging out in the mid lane, trying to get a little bit of a jump on this wave clear. Orphea very, very strong in the wave clear department, especially with that ancestral strength. Both teams now going to be focusing on their siege camps, getting those right at the 1 minute mark. Very important macro-wise here on Sky Temple to get those picked up as often as possible. And there we go. We see both teams are going to grab it straight away. Quaranteam is actually going to head straight over to the Bruiser camp here. Unaverted trying to get the over-the-wall cocktail, but just barely missing. While the rest of Team Alexander Fanclub is going to stick to the bottom lane and try to clear out these giants. Meanwhile, on the top, it looks like Valera and Falstad have mostly been avoiding each other, trying to get the experience as safely as possible. Jachuggy in a little bit of trouble here. Tychus getting some extra damage, but is blinded out by Jachuggy. A lot of extra damage there onto the Johanna, as it looks like Falstad could be the target here. The rest of Quaranteam has come on up. The Palada is playing very carefully. Now wanting to get this Bruiser camp pushing in the top lane, seeing that Team Alexander Fanclub is late on this. Jay is going to take a lot of damage from Cookie Man and crew. And Quaranteam is going to get a lot of work done on this top wall, while the rest of Team Alexander Fanclub works to catch up on this Bruiser camp. Orphea in the bottom lane, trying to keep that XP high. Here comes Team Alexander Fanclub trying to push back Quaranteam. Jay, Clover, and Any Problem are here with the Bruiser camp of their own. Jachuggy is trying to control this space. I'm set on Hearthstone. Well, that's not good. I'll have to check that out in a moment. Temples are activating in 20 seconds here. So I quickly go over and, oh my gosh, you are correct. I'm going to go to Heroes of the Storm. Oh no! Heroes of the Storm. Oh my god. There we go. Update. Sorry about that, team. That's probably why we're low in viewership. Unaverted! It's getting targeted down by Team Alexander Fanclub. Oh, but the healing from Wary Day is enough, and First Blood will not be drawn. Thank you for that, dude who abides. I thought I had said that. My bad. Valera lurking in the mid lane, trying to get some work done versus the Tassadar and the Falstad. There's the silence onto Tassadar, just dealing a little bit of extra damage. Jay here to ward away the Valera. as the temples are up and running. Falstad coming right in. Carbon could be in some trouble here as Falstad aggressively barrel rolling in, does hit the Q, but with 100 health, Carbon will get on out of there. Still no kills from either team here as Quaranteam is picking up the top altar and Team Alexander picking up the mid. Very even trades here so far, but with the extra wall damage from Quaranteam, they're a little bit ahead on the trade of structures. That's a big Q coming out from Klatzy. Valera once again trying to harass Falstad in the bottom lane. Orphea doing a little bit of double soaking. Here comes Team Alexander Fanclub. Very even on XP here. We see a slight minion lead for Quaranteam, but the minion, or the mercenaries and the passive equal for both sides. Going to be very close, level 10 on both sides. Unaverted going straight in. Orphea actually dying in the bottom lane to Tychus. But Valera with the double kill on Tychus and Falstad. Chuggy could be in some trouble here in the top lane. The wall is there, and there goes Johanna. You had a bloodbath there in the bottom lane. Missed it with this fight here. Unaverted is still going in onto Clover. Looks like Unaverted could be in some trouble here. Jay catching him with the icing, and there goes Greymane. Did I say there were no kills in this game? Because now there are 6. Very nicely done from our two squads here. Falstad looking to move in with those bribe stacks. Does actually snipe away Quaranteam's siege camp. Very nicely done by the Palada. Looks like he'll get away scot-free. Carbon is on the chase, but the jukes from Falstad are there. And Carbon will have to back away as any problem and crew are going to head down to the siege camp of their own. And Quaranteam is going to be stuck clearing. Here we are in the middle lane. The Palada getting chased away again. Valera trying to watch this rotation from Falstad. Very aggressively put there. Ooh, Falstad with the nice catch on the Q. Reveals Valera. Valera very aggressively on the side of the map of Team Alexander Fanclub there. Wants to catch that Falstad off guard. Level 10s are coming in here for both squads that will be here for this next temple. Both just on the edge here. There we go. Level 10s are here for Team Alexander Fanclub and for Quaranteam. You see the Hinterland Blast coming out from Falstad, so no Mighty Gust here on Sky Temple. Interesting there, looking for the extra damage rather than the boss control. Unaverted is caught by May, though. There's the Draken Laser Drill. Greymane diving in, does get the Lucio before being traded out by Tychus. It's a 4v4. Oh, still a 3v3 in the bottom lane. Falstad is coming in. Cloudsy could be in some trouble here. Carbon in the back line does catch the Q and gets out of the Blizzard. Any problem being chased down by Johanna. Weary Day is working on the Draken Laser Drill. Carbon in trouble. The Palada with the rotation does catch Orphea. Very nicely done. Here comes Chuggy, though, trying to get some extra damage onto Falstad. Weary Day trying to get the sleep. Cookie Man making it in time to grab that Falstad kill. The smoke bomb goes out for safety. And the teams are reset. Very even fight here. Chuggy currently controlling that bottom temple, but here comes Team Alexander Fanclub. Iron Skin is popped by Johanna. Unaverted coming in to ward away the rest of the Fanclub. Orphea and Valera rotating around here. Unaverted might get caught here. Manages to get on the right side of the wall, but the wrong side of the Blizzard. Cookie Man in the back line. A big stun there flying from Johanna. Catches Tassadar. And there goes Lucio as well. A very aggressive fly-in by Falstad. The sleep is there. Manages to get away, but that's 2 kills to none for Quaranteam, and they're going to get the rest of the shots from this bottom temple. Valera doing a lot of work in controlling the back line and making sure that Tassadar and Falstad do not feel comfortable in these team fights. Tychus heading on up to the hard camp for Team Alexander Fanclub. Falstad joining. Carbon and Cookie Man looking for a rotation onto this siege camp. Or looking for possibly Jay to take the aggressive route to the mid lane. Chuggy and Carbon are going to grab their own siege camp here. As the teams, now a full level lead for Quaranteam. Getting ahead with that minion XP, doing a great job there. Both siege camps are being picked up. The hard camp for Quaranteam is picked up in response to the top lane push. It looks like Greymane is going to work on clearing out that camp, and the rest of Team Alexander Fanclub looking for a possible gank in the mid lane here. Very aggressively rotating down, trying to catch Chuggy and Carbon. Do they see it coming? Here comes May, trying to get on top of Orphea. Does land the ice wall. There's the Blizzard to try to get the stun onto Carbon. There it is, the Hinterland Blast, and Orphea goes down. Very nice rotation there from Team Alexander Fanclub. Using the ice wall to catch was a very nice play. Cookie Man in the backline uses the smoke bomb to avoid the point-and-click autos, but Valera's in a little bit of trouble here. Jay in the back trying to catch Cookie Man, gets the body block, and Valera dies in the Blizzard. Very nicely done. We've got 2 kills here, 2 staggered kills for Team Alexander Fanclub, and they're headed to the boss. With 2 members down, Orphea just now joining the field. Chuggy trying to slow them down, possibly for Orphea to get here, but it looks like Greymane is going to take the opportunity to push in the top lane, getting a lot of work done. That whole wall taken out. Boss picked up here by Team Alexander Fanclub, but here comes Weary Day. Are they just going to grab this top keep? Team Alexander Fanclub is going to work on this bottom push. Falstad has backed, is going to try to clear this camp, but it looks like this keep may be going down. Quaranteam with a fantastic rotation. It's going to grab the top keep while with 2 members down while the boss was taken. Johanna is actually taken out in the bottom lane by Team Alexander Fanclub in response, so they might get some extra push here as I get a little bit of a lag spike. Reconnecting. Oh, we're good. Carbon taking a lot of damage in the back line, going down. Orphea next to fall. This push may be worth a lot here for Team Alexander Fanclub. Temples are up. Valera in the back trying to grab some extra shots while Greymane and Ana are in the top lane chasing down Falstad. The sleep dart does miss, but unaverted, using the ult and the nano boost, does take out the Pilata in the top lane. Boss is currently free pushing, will be taken out by the keep wall. May is trying to control this bottom temple. Cookie Man on the chase here. The rest of Quaranteam has rotated off the top temple. They're going to have to clear there. Cookie Man is now being rotated on by Team Alexander Fanclub. This would be quite the escape. The smoke bomb is out, but the rest of Team Alexander Fanclub is here. Cookie Man is really kind of trapped here. There's the stealth again, getting the silence. Oh, actually getting the kill onto May. Cookie Man making it worth, making it a trade. Very nicely done by the Valera player from Quaranteam. Carbon working around, trying to get this lane clear, working the Pilata, trying to counter. Chuggy and Unaverted being chased down by Clover in the mid. You see the top lane is completely opened up here for Quaranteam, though the forts are now taken out by this objective. So it's only 2 keeps remaining for Quaranteam as we see the Pilata using that bribe to steal away this camp once again. They're working on this bottom lane pressure. Team Alexander Fanclub wants to control this bottom lane, keep it pushed out so that when they get kills in these team fights, they can grab a boss and push to win. Both teams with a very different win condition here. Quaranteam just needs to control, just needs to trade out these temples. And Team Alexander Fanclub has to make something happen. Valera grabbing that sight back once again, trying to make Team Alexander Fanclub fear these rotations. Chuggy in the mid lane. Both teams pretty even on XP now. Team Alexander Fanclub found those kills and caught up, taking that vision back, and with only 1 camp left on the map, it looks like we may have an invade here from Team Alexander Fanclub. Trying to be careful though, because Valera could be lurking around any corner. Unaverted and Weary Day baiting that camp away, trying to create a little bit of space there. Jay is keeping an eye on things. Could Team Alexander Fanclub admit to this? No, it looks like they will not. They were looking for an opportunity, but Quaranteam did a good job of baiting that camp backwards and not allowing a push over the wall from Team Alexander Fanclub. Chuggy working on this vision, will have to back away as the Pilata wards Johanna backwards. We have 2 temples up. We've got mid and bottom lane. Jay is looking for a rotation here onto Unaverted. Greymane is using the spell armor from this camp to stay safe. Team Alexander is going to push through. They're going to want to take out the mage here. Valera going right in. There's the ice wall coming out. Unaverted could be in trouble here. Johanna uses the Iron Skin in the mid lane. The Palada missing with the Hinterlands Blast. Draken Laser Drill did go out, and it looks like Team Alexander was going to have to move away with 3 ults spent. Johanna with the Blessed Shield, buying enough time. And now it looks like Quaranteam will control the middle temple. With level 19 on the horizon and a heroic advantage here, they may want to set up a fight. We'll see what they want to do here. Chachuggy in the bush, looking for a possible invade from Team Alexander Fanclub, but it looks like they're content to just go down and try to get as many shots as they can. The Palada trying to clear the top lane here with the big wave, while Quaranteam is happy to trade this out. As long as they get full shots here from this temple, they're going to be ahead. Carbon trying to rotate onto the Palada. We've got Quaranteam here. They want Falstad. Falstad is rotating away. Going to head to the mid lane. That's coming here. Oh, Johanna does see him. The barrel roll towards the base. Oh, evades the Blessed Shield. The Palada evades the gank. Very nicely done by our Falstad player. While Cookie Man is in a lot of trouble here. Lucio is on the chase. And there it is. Valera goes down in a counter gank by Team Alexander Fanclub. They got to be thinking about boss now. Jay keeping an eye on things. Level 20 is on the horizon, though, for Quaranteam. There it is. The boss is being taken. Valera is down. Looks like Quaranteam is going to keep an eye on things here. They know that the boss is being taken, but there's not a whole lot they can do unless they want to take a 4v5 with this level 20 engaged. Chachuggy is thinking about it. Chachuggy is going to step... Nope, Chachuggy's going to back off. That's probably a pretty good move there. I didn't think that was possibly the most... the safest engage there, and they agree. They're going to back on out. They're just going to go ahead and clear away this big bottom lane push. This is the win condition that Team Alexander Fanclub is trying to open up. They've got the double siege camp along with the boss. This is a massive wave for Quaranteam to deal with. And here it comes. They're down here. This keep is at half health. Unaverted is going to be most of the damage here. It's going to have to be careful. Team Alexander Fanclub is absolutely looking for an opportunity to dive on top of this Greymane. Johanna moving in with that Iron Skin. Unaverted is actually a little bit trapped by the tornado there. There's the Archon. Blessed Shield goes out. A huge stun. Any problem is taking a lot of damage here. Clatzy with that Archon is going to go down. Tassadar is first to fall. Valera is next, though. We've got a 1-for-1 trade. The boss is on the core at about half health here. Greymane is trying to clear it out. Gets hit with the boss stun, and Team Alexander Fanclub is going for it. 80% on this core. They're going in here. Still pretty healthy. Greymane is going to go down to the boss stun. Johanna next. But there goes May and Lucio. The boss is still very healthy. 10% on this core. And the push does it. Team Alexander Fanclub picks up win number 1. Very nicely done. All right. Waiting for game results. All right, there it is. Quaranteam with the 12 kills. Team Alexander Fanclub with the 15. We definitely saw a switch in strategy there from the fan club. Once they realized they were behind in structures, they moved to the secondary win condition here on Sky Temple, which is stack that bottom lane and push for the win. We saw them taking advantage of that one player. From that one kill, they got the Valera in the bottom lane, moved straight onto the boss, grabbed both camps, and ultimately, though Quaranteam did get a lot of kills there in the end, the push just too strong, and Team Alexander Fanclub picks up game number 1. Greymane, top of the charts for everything there in Quaranteam. Top siege, top hero damage, top XP. Meanwhile, over on Team Alexander Fanclub, Tychus actually coming ahead with the almost 34,000 hero damage. Very nicely done from our two teams. All right, game number 1 is in the books. Team Alexander Fanclub has the first point. Can they close things out in game number 2, or will Quaranteam come storming back? We're going to head to the break, and when we come back, it's game number 2, Quaranteam versus Team Alexander Fanclub. Don't go far. My god, was I muted that whole time? Oh! I am tripping tonight. You know what? We're gonna redo that. We're gonna redo it! Oh! Thanks, Mick. Ultrac Pass, Praxis Holdout, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Cursed Hollow were banned away for this series. Team Alexander Fan Club chose and won on Sky Temple, and now Team Alexander Fan Club is going to take us to Battlefield of Eternity. Hide my shame! Let's go to the draft. Oh. Man. Can you tell it's been a while since I cast a series? They're not going to ask me back, man. Alright, Battlefield of Eternity. We're loading up here. Quaranteam once again has the first pick opportunity. Last time, Sky Temple, they banned away Abathur and the Lost Vikings. Probably not going to see those bans here on Battlefield. They're going to ban away the Mei. Jay playing a fantastic Mei there on Sky Temple, not wanting to see that tank once again from Team Alexander Fan Club. Cassia, once again, banned away by Team Alexander Fan Club, not wanting to see the top tier Amazon. Will we see another Respect ban coming out, or do they have something else in mind? Do Quaranteam. Battlefield of Eternity, you can really play this a couple ways. They're going to still ban the Abathur. Interesting here on Battlefield of Eternity. Not going to get a lot of split push value with that Abathur, but the hat build's still something to be careful for sure. And Li Ming once again banned away by Team Alexander Fan Club. They know exactly what they don't want to face here. Quaranteam is first to act. Last time we saw Ana first picked. Definitely still a possibility here. See what they want to pick up. Lucio was picked by Team Alexander Fan Club last time. They're going to grab away the Raynor. Raynor very, very strong here on Battlefield of Eternity. Great race hero, can pick up camps quickly, good lane clear. Now we can see teams either go into big poke comps, the Pilata going straight into the Sergeant Hammer, not worried about it at all. And Rhaegar is going to be picked up by Clover. So that really sort of changes the face of this matchup. It's now all about Sergeant Hammer. We'll see what Quaranteam is thinking in response to the Hammer. They're going to grab ETC. And they're going to grab Chromie. I was thinking about Chromie. I wasn't so sure about Chromie here on Battlefield, but Chromie is a classic answer to Sergeant Hammer, and we're going to see Carbon pick up the Time Dragon. Next ban coming out here for Team Alexander Fan Club. We could see an Ana ban, get that off the table. We'll see what their thoughts are. Interested to see if it's going to be a Malthael ban, actually. It is going to be the Ana, wanting to get Weary Day off that preferred healer. Now, when you're talking about a Sergeant Hammer comp, you're talking about protection. You're talking about setting up in a position and holding that position as best as possible. Johanna, definitely someone who can enable that. Quaranteam, taking the Crusader off the board. Next two picks coming in. Mei is not available. ETC pick, Johanna ban, so we're going to see definitely a different kind of tank. Jay is going to grab the Deathwing. Tank player from last game, Jay, is going to grab Deathwing. Clancy once again on the Tassadar. Are they going with a no classic tank comp? They're going to have the Sergeant Hammer. They're going to have the Deathwing. Interesting that their current main front line is one that cannot be healed. Cookie Man going to grab the Urel. And Weary Day is going to be on Stukov. Stukov, with that Silence Root combo, can definitely do a lot versus Sergeant Hammer in terms of turning off that trait, turning off the mount to get away. We'll see what any problem's going to pick up here, whether they're going to grab another frontliner or if they're just going to grab some more damage. It's going to be Alarak coming out from any problem, so definitely a different sort of comp here from Team Alexander Fan Club. They've got the Deathwing in the front, the Alarak to threaten here on Battlefield of Eternity, and the Sergeant Hammer wailing away in the backline, whereas Quaranteam got a little bit of a more standard composition, picking up that Rainer and then picking up those Hammer counters. Well, it's going to be a fun one. Game number 2 here, Quaranteam versus Team Alexander Fan Club. Let's get into it. Alright, I am 100% unmuted. I see the little bar going. We're getting ready here for game number 2. On the left, in the blue, we have Quaranteam with Cookie Man playing the Urel. Jachuggy is on ETC. Unaverted will be playing the Rainer. Wary Day on the Stukov, and Carbon playing Chromie. On the right, in the red, we have Team Alexander Fan Club with the Palada on the Sergeant Hammer. Jay will be playing Deathwing. Klatzy on the Tassadar. Clover will be on Rhaegar. And Any Problem on the Alarak. Here we go, game number 2. We see Quaranteam heading towards the middle lane. They're going to spread out here and make sure they don't fall victim to any Sergeant Hammer shenanigans. They want to keep an eye on things, make sure they're ready to react to either lane. Deathwing in the mid, doing the same. Urel catches Sergeant Hammer in the top lane. Chromie headed on up there to try to harass the Palada. While the rest of Quaranteam is down here, it's going to be a 3v4 versus the tankless composition of Team Alexander Fan Club. Definitely a lot of wave clear. Ooh, Jachuggy with a fantastic little face melt there to interrupt the Discord strike from Any Problem. Very nicely done. A lot of zoning potential here coming out from Team Alexander Fan Club as well. It's going to be difficult for Quaranteam to establish themselves in lane versus this high displacement, high sort of roadblock style comp. Coming out from Team Alexander Fan Club is without a kill and down a level. They're going to go ahead and try to snipe this bottom camp. Quaranteam with the 2 in the top lane. They're going to concede this bottom camp. Carbon and Cookie Man are going to try to grab this top lane while the Palada is sort of stuck back in the wall there. Weary Day is caught by Any Problem, will rotate around. Stukov's going to be just fine, while Team Alexander Fan Club is really just roasting the lane and using that to gain position. A very nice pull there onto Rainer, unaverted, gets on the correct side of the wall, but is a little bit trapped there. Takes a lot of damage from the shock ray, but Rainer will get out of there just fine. Once again, we see a lot of zone control here coming out from Deathwing and Tassadar, keeping Quaranteam sort of stuck in their base here. Jachuggy's got to walk through that lava pool in order to get away. Sergeant Hammer really being bullied around by Urel and Chromie in the top lane. Jay's starting to take a lot of extra damage here. A nice slide onto Clover. Unaverted going to change targets and push Rhaegar on out of there. Another pull silence from Any Problem is going to push Rainer back. Ooh, that's a lot of damage coming out from Deathwing. And Deathwing's going to have to head into the air pretty soon here. About 40 seconds out from the first objective. Any Problem, and he's got a lot of problems here, but Jachuggy is caught by Klatzy, and first blood goes over to Team Alexander Fan Club, picking up the ETC kill. Carbon and Cookie Man doing a lot of work here. The Palada low on health, low on minions, low on structures, as Cookie Man and Carbon are pushing down this top fort. You see Team Alexander Fan Club picking up that camp. Cookie Man in the back does get the kill, but the fort had something to say about that. It's a trade out Urel for Sergeant Hammer. Chromie, does manage to get it. His Carbon is on the run here on less than 10 health. Oh, but Jay snipes him with the lava pool. Another kill for Team Alexander Fan Club going into this first phase. Shamans were picked up on time by both teams. Clover trying to get the race in. Rhaegar, a lot of the early game race here for Team Alexander Fan Club. Nice stun there onto Unaverted. And the Palada is set up. There is the position that they want. Cookie Man onto the back line. Their Quaranteam is definitely coordinated and ready for this response to the Sergeant Hammer. They've got the dive, they've got the passing damage. Cookie Man in a lot of trouble here. Has to use the Hand of Freedom to get on out of there. Rainer in the top, trying to get the race on here for Team Quaranteam. Hammer in the bottom lane, plugging away at that Immortal. Urel's trying to clear away the top Shaman camp, while the rest of Team Alexander Fanclub did clear up the bottom lane. Quaranteam does have the advantage here. So here comes Team Alexander Fanclub. They're looking for the defense. Cookie Man looking for an opportunity to jump on that back line. Jay still working on 3 plates. Gonna use the Cataclysm to create some space here. Chuggy manages to slip by that Tassadar wall. Cookie Man's taking a lot of damage from Deathwing up in the top lane. But the poke from Rainer and Chromie is enough. Quaranteam is gonna pick up the first Immortal of the game. Urel grabbing that experience in the top lane. Level 7 will be here for Quaranteam. It's still a little bit ways off here for Team Alexander Fanclub, as this first Immortal is going to push down the bottom wall. The Unstoppable from the Pilata, very nicely done. Getting caught by the slow from the Stuka, but avoiding the silence. Chromie with those big bombs onto the back line, dealing a ton of damage to Team Alexander Fanclub. This Immortal very, very low here. Chuggy trying to slide onto Alarak, but using that W to get away is any problem. Well's going to go down here. Almost down is the fort. The objective is through. Chuggy and crew are going to have to be careful here, as these forts still do target heroes when you are in range. Any problem? Once again, Chuggy with a fantastic timing on that face melt. Team Alexander Fanclub moving on to this bottom camp. Weary Day sees it. We'll see what Quaranteam can do here. Carbon up in the top, harassing Team Alexander Fanclub with those big sandblasts, actually walking straight into the enemy team. Jay is taking a ton of damage there. Carbon going the wrong way. Chromie is going to go down here. Jay may go down as well. 1-for-1 trade to start here. Rhaegar going down. Weary Day is actually going to get away. Alarak going down. Klatzy going down. That's a full wipe, except for Hammer in the top lane. I can't believe that Weary Day survived that. Chromie moving on to the back, looking like things were bad for Quaranteam, but the counter wipe. Rainer catching all 4 kills there, unaverted. Definitely unaverted in that team fight. Very nicely done. They're pushing down this bottom keep wall. Urel in the top is actually going to steal away this camp from the Pilata. Deathwing dropped just a little bit too late. And the top camp is taken by Quaranteam. Quaranteam looking very, very good here in game number 2. Level 10s are online as the second Immortal is spawning. We do see the time loop coming out from Chromie. Despite the cleanse coming out from Rhaegar, they do pick up the time loop. Time loop of 50-second cooldown versus the 60-second cooldown of cleanse from Rhaegar, wanting to force out the cleanses to allow for the mosh pits to land from Chuggy. Looking for a bit of a defense here at the start is Quaranteam. They want to force a fight, if possible. It looks like Team Alexander Fanclub is going to just move back and pick up their camp while Quaranteam gets their race on. Still a full level away from 10 is Team Alexander Fanclub. Cookie Man trying to control the rotations here, keeping an eye on things as the halftime show has begun, and we are actually in race positions. This is great for Quaranteam. But a 3-player defense here. The Pilata is set up, but Rainer and Chromie in the back are going to race this down very, very quickly. Cookie Man right in there. Gets silenced by Alarak, but is going to be just fine there. The race is completed. Got a near full shield Immortal for Quaranteam that's going to be pushing down this softened up bottom lane. It will not be a full team push. Urel is in the top lane, is going to have to clear away that Shaman camp. They're going to have a Shaman camp of their own pushing alongside this objective, though. Going to be important to catch up this wave. Deathwing is lurking around the backline here. Chuggy sees it. Looking for some hits onto Carbon. Was Deathwing there? Chuggy trying to get out in front, not let too much free damage go onto this Immortal. There is Urel and Chromie chasing down the Deathwing. So we zoom things out a little bit here. Lots of fights happening in lots of places. The shield on this Immortal starting to go down here as the wall is being poked down by Quaranteam. One more tower to go. Cookie Man looking for any opportunity to get on top of that Sergeant Hammer. And the keep is now in the picture as Deathwing going right in. There's the Tassadar wall. Bellowing Roar coming out from Jay, catches two. Chuggy does land the mosh, catches two, very, very low. They cannot get the kill. Finally, ETC going down here. Jay in a lot of trouble. Team Alexander Fan Club very low. The keep is going to fall here. Can't believe Jay is still alive. Oh, and Kroby with the snipe on the last Dragon's Breath, taking down Jay. Thought Deathwing was safe, but the very last hit on that 3-hit Dragon's Breath lands and picks up the kill. Very nicely done. A full push by Quaranteam picks up the bottom keep. Urel keeping these lanes pushed right in, not wanting to give Team Alexander Fan Club any room to breathe here on this map. So the rest of Quaranteam is going to move up to this top camp, though Cookie Man gets silenced here by any problem. Deathwing is dropping down. Chuggy here to try to ward away the rest of Team Alexander Fan Club. Cookie Man does not have the Ardent Defender ready. He's going to use the Holy Avenger to get on out of there. The time stop catches two. Deathwing could be in a little bit of trouble here. There's the Bellowing Roar, actually finds three. Urel manages to get on out of there. That beefy health pool is enough for Cookie Man to survive. There's the time loop, and Rhaegar is going to go down here. Rhaegar can cleanse a lot of people. Could not cleanse themselves. Jay taking a lot of damage from Carbon. The Sandblasts not quite hitting there. The Palada is being chased away. That's one kill for Quaranteam, and they've got this, gosh, what's it called? The Goatman Camp pushing in the top lane. There's another name for those folks, and I can't remember what they are. Now this top keep wall being taken down. Hammer in the bottom lane trying to deal with that secondary camp push, and this keep is in trouble. Rhaegar is back on the field. Cookie Man starting to get that negative armor, does leap on over the wall with the E. And this camp, or this keep up rather, very, very low as Deathwing drops in. The next Immortal phase is here. And the race is on once again. Team Alexander Fan Club is going to have to get as much damage onto that top Immortal as possible, but the halftime show coming in here. Looks like we got an invade. A stun there onto Chromie, followed up by Jay. There's the silence. Bellowing Roar as well. Carbon in a lot of trouble in the back, and Chromie is going to go down. The flailing swipe from Stukov, not enough to save Chromie. Weary Day splitting off to avoid the chase from Deathwing and Tassadar. Cookie Man is in some trouble here. Ardent Defender is ready. There it is. Popped the Absorb. And Urel is going to be just fine, but the race is on. Palada is in position, and Sergeant Hammer is going to be wailing away here. There is the silence route coming out from Stukov once again. Trying to get some extra damage onto Sergeant Hammer. Palada's going to have to back on up. Chuggy looking for the slide, but a great pre-cleanse onto Tassadar. Less than 100 health. Klotzy will get away from Cookie Man there. And Quaranteam, doing some great poke damage, is actually going to get onto this race. Incredibly well done, using that 2-level advantage. Even with Chromie off the field, winning this race, and the objective is going to be pushing in the top lane. Meanwhile, Klotzy trying to clear out this bottom push. These catapults were starting to build up. Picking up the Shaman camp here is Quaranteam. Going to get that pushing in the off lane, give Team Alexander Fan Club something else to worry about. It looks like they may not be pushing with this objective. They may be going to the bottom lane here. Here they go. They're going for a big push in the bottom lane. Team Alexander Fan Club sees it. They're going to have to back up here. They're going straight onto the core. They're going to force Team Alexander Fan Club to make a decision. A big route, though, onto Cookie Man. Getting stopped by that core. They're going to back on out here. They're going to try to get a different position. Any problem catching unaverted in the back line. They want that. There it is. The Bloodlust is popped, but the Mosh Pit is there catching Klotzy and Alarak. Alarak is going to go down here. It's a 5v4 for Quaranteam. Here is the objective. It's on the core. Jay very, very low. The Palada gets jumped on by Cookie Man. Urel is in a lot of trouble. Deathwing's going to go down, but there goes Urel as well. 50% on this core. Chuggy wants Klotzy. There goes Tassadar. There goes Rhaegar. And Quaranteam is going to pick up game number 2. GG. Quaranteam out there. Very nice draft, making it look easy versus this very interesting comp coming out here from Team Alexander Fan Club. looking to use the zone control, use that wave clear to control the bottom lane and maintain their position on the objective. But the Chromie, Raynor, Stukov combo to control that Sergeant Hammer and get extra damage onto that Deathwing, just too much to deal with. And Quaranteam bulldoze their way and force a game number 3. Very nicely done from our two teams there. We saw Raynor ahead on the hero damage there for Quaranteam, picking up 30.5 thousand, while Tassadar at 37k there for Team Alexander Fanclub. Very nicely done from our two squads. All right, game number 2. Quaranteam ties things up 1-1. We're going to go to game number 3 and see which one of these teams is going to the grand finals. Don't go far. It's Quaranteam versus Team Alexander Fanclub. Game number 3. We'll be right back. Alrighty here, game number 3. These teams are raring and ready to go, so we're going to skip the formalities. We're going to go straight to draft. They kind of caught me off guard there, man. They caught me off guard. But it's game number 3. Towers of Doom is the map chosen by Quaranteam. So we got a little bit of a switch up in the draft. Team Alexander Fanclub will be first to act. Give you a little bit of a rundown of the maps while we're on this screen, just so you can watch here. Alterac Pass, Praxis Holdout, Tomb of the Spider Queen, and Cursed Hollow. We're banned away. Sky Temple, game 1 won by Team Alexander Fanclub. Battlefield of Eternity won by Quaranteam. And now we're game number 3, chosen by Quaranteam here on Towers of Doom. The rubber match is here on the game 3est map of them all. As we see Stukov banned away. Nice little respect there from Team Alexander Fanclub. And now Cassia going to be banned away by Quaranteam. Just want to take an opportunity to say thank you all very much for the follows today. Appreciate you supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. I appreciate it a lot. Alright. Ban number 2 here for Team Alexander Fanclub. Will it be another respect ban, or do they have something else in mind here? It is going to be the Raynor ban. Raynor not quite the power pick here on Towers of Doom compared to Battlefield of Eternity, where he is absolute triple S tier, but very, very strong on towers nonetheless. And Ana will be banned away by Quaranteam. All right, now Team Alexander Fanclub. This is their first pick of this series. May is open. They played a very fierce May in game number 1. It was banned away from them in game number 2. Is Jay going to pick that up? Or do they have something else in mind here? Let's see. Any Problem is going to grab that Li Ming. That was banned away by Team Alexander Fanclub in the first 2 games. And with the opportunity to ban it taken away, they're going to grab it themselves. If I had to guess, I'd guess there's a very strong Li Ming player just waiting for an opportunity on Quaranteam, and Team Alexander Fanclub wants nothing to do with it. Hanzo and Deckard are going to be picked up here by Quaranteam. Hanzo, very strong interrupts here for the shrines here on Towers of Doom. Deckard, the same. Great zone control, able to interrupt channels from afar. Very strong map picks coming out here from Quaranteam. Li Ming's pretty similar. Her shots can be blocked a little bit more than Hanzo's and Deckard's can, but similar thought here. Jay will grab that May here for game number 3, and the first appearance of Imperius by Clatzy. Imperius, very, very strong on this patch, just having that extra burst auto attack damage with those Valorous brands and the big spear. There's something to fear. I just rhymed something because I tried. Sergeant Hammer banned away by Quaranteam, not wanting anything too fancy there. Coming out from Team Alexander Fanclub, Abathur is open. Abathur was banned away in the first 2 games. Still open here. We'll see if Abathur hits the field, or if these teams don't want to deal with the slug here on Towers of Doom. Team Alexander Fanclub once again going to ban away the Garrosh. Garrosh does very well, particularly on Towers of Doom. You can throw people into the death zone. You can throw people over walls around those shrine points. You can do a lot of work there. next two picks here coming in for Quaranteam. They've got their delay. They're going to have to worry about their tank. They're going to grab Johanna here. And Carbon is going to grab the Jaina. Jaina, very strong wave clear, very, very strong burst damage. Going to be keying off those Johanna stuns into Deckard roots, wanting to burst down anyone they catch as quickly as possible. Last two picks here from Team Alexander Fanclub. They've got their Imperious, they've got their Mei. They do need a healer here. Stukov, Anna, Deckard all off the board. Rhaegar is available. Clover is going to grab the Lucio once again, and the Pilata is going to get some delay of their own in that Junkrat. And Cookie Man snapping up that Zeratul pick to round things out. Now, these are two teams that are really going to have to get some extra kills before they do any channeling here on Towers of Doom. Very cool comps coming out here from both of our squads. Man, very high execution heroes. There's going to be some crazy team fights. Here we go, game number 3. It's Quaranteam versus Team Alexander Fanclub. Who's going to go to the grand finals? Let's find out. Perfect timing. Loading in here to Towers of Doom. Once again, on the left is Quaranteam with Unaverted playing the Hanzo, Chichuggy on the Johanna, Cookie Man playing the Zeratul, Wary Day on the Deckard, and Carbon on the Jaina. On the right in the red, we have Team Alexander Fanclub with Klatzy on the Junkrat. Jay will be playing Mei, the Pilata on Imperious, Clover will be playing Lucio, and Any Problem on the Li Ming. Here we go, game number 3. Which team is going to go to the grand finals? I have learned that Team Alexander did defeat Regen in the other semifinals, so the winner here will be going to face Team Alexander right after this matchup over on twitch.tv/Nexus Gaming Series. Tetcher will have the action for you over there. But first, we got to get through this game. We got to see who's going to go. Unaverted taking some extra damage there from the Li Ming. Blizzard on top of Blizzard in the middle lane. And these teams are going to start up their rotation. Zeratul already in the top lane. Looks like Imperious will go up to answer Chichuggy, trying to interrupt the rotations of Team Alexander Fanclub here. Carbon in the bush here, once going to get a ton of extra damage. Getting some extra damage for sure onto Klatzy. Junkrat, very low there. Cookie Man coming on down. Off-laning Zeratul? Nah, ganking Zeratul. And Junkrat will be the first to fall in this matchup. The wave clear, very, very important here for our two teams. Camps are coming up. We're going to see Quaranteam grab those sappers straight away. Having to clear the bottom lane is Team Alexander Fanclub. They're going to be a little bit behind on this sapper camp. Quaranteam could have the opportunity to invade here, as they will be finished significantly quicker than Team Alexander Fanclub. Imperious doing his best to double soak. Zeratul in the top lane, Jaina clearing the mid. Looks like we may have a gank attempt here onto the Pilata. Here comes Wary Day. Carbon is there with the extra damage. The root does not land, and Imperious will get on out of there. Jay looking for the counter flank here. Wary Day manages to get away from the Blizzard. Junkrat bomb is out. Gonna trap Wary Day for a moment. Pilata going straight back onto Jaina. That's a ton of damage there, but will manage to survive for now. Oh, 54 health! Looks like Jaina will manage to get away. Those Junkrat bombs, nothing to pass off as nothing. Hanzo looking to clear this bottom lane, get this sapper camp pushed in. Here comes Any Problem in Clover. Wary Day could be in some trouble here. Juking around the root there. Wary Day gonna go run over these rubies. Could Deckard actually get away here? Chichuggy is catching up. Any Problem very, very low. Jay actually very low as well. Can they find the extra damage? Not quite. And Wary Day with the jukes on Deckard will manage to get away. A nice Iron Skin by Chichuggy. Nullifies that Junkrat trap. Members of Quaranteam heading back to get those mana pools refilled. Very large minion XP lead here from Quaranteam. It's nearly a full level ahead here. Mercenaries even, passives even. We got the extra heroes and a lot of extra minions here for Quaranteam. Very nicely done with the soaking here from Zeratul versus that Imperious. Extra damage forces the Iron Skin out from Johanna. That's another 25 seconds till Jochuggy can pop that again. A nice boop there by Jay, actually catches the Johanna. Jochuggy could be in trouble here. Going right in, does not have the Iron Skin available, and Johanna will go down. Unaverted, trying to get some extra damage onto the back line as we see a trade in the top lane of these altars. And here is where the delays begin. Deckard and Unaverted are going to be able to delay for days. Weary Day could be in some trouble here, actually, weaving around those that route once again. Hanzo trying to push the Pilata back. Cookie Man is on the chase as well. They're not going to dive for that kill. Actually, Jaina dying in the bottom lane. Missing the action is the Crushinator. Gotta have to stay on top of stuff. Jay taking some extra damage from Jochuggy. Unaverted could be in some trouble here. The Pilata going in very deep with very little mana. Zeratul looking for an opportunity. Less than 200 health, but will manage to get away. With Johanna back on the field, the fight is on once again. Level 7s are coming in here, though, for Quaranteam. That could change the favors here in this fight. A stun there onto Unaverted, but no follow-up damage just yet. Zeratul being chased away by Lucio on top of the altar. And we are still on the first objective phase here as level 7 comes in for Quaranteam. No one able to pick this up. They're going to need some kills in order to create enough space to grab this altar. Both teams with so much poke. The Pilata getting collapsed on by Carbon and Cookie Man. Only one wave of that blizzard hitting, and it looks like the Pilata will manage to get away here. Or will they? Johanna on the chase, and Imperious is going to go down to the Deckard bomb. Very nicely done. Ooh, Plover heading out the correct way. That scatter arrow from Hanzo was serious business. Junkrat once again interrupting things with those long-range grenades, but it looks like Weary Day will manage to finally grab the final altar of the first objective.
Like all the others.
Now a little less than a full level lead ahead here is Quaranteam. Using that minion XP advantage, Zeratul out-soaking the Imperious for the meantime. As the Sapper camps are up again, Carbon is going to be in a little bit of trouble here. Jay with the boop onto Carbon, avoids the stun, but is headed the wrong way here. Jaina in a lot of trouble. Clover with the chase, and Clover with the kill. One extra pickup there for Team Alexander Fanclub. Jochuggy trying to interrupt the rotation of Team Alexander Fanclub, so Weary Day and Unaverted can grab the Sapper camp, and it looks like they do have the opportunity to do so. As the Fan Club heads on to the Sapper camp of their own. Cookie Man actually catching Jay on the rotation here. Looks like Zeratul will be just fine. The trait here coming out. A lot of extra damage onto Mei. Jochuggy trying to get this wave pushing in the bottom lane. Cookie Man trying to keep Imperious honest there in the mid lane. Sapper camp was picked up for Team Alexander Fanclub. It's going to have to be cleared away by Quaranteam, who have now reached level 10s. Let's stay a while and listen from Deckard. We actually have a water elemental coming out from Jaina, wants that consistent frost damage. So no Ring of Frost this game. Weary Day gets pooped back by Jay. Weary Day managing to get away with Junkrat is absolutely destroyed by the dive from Quaranteam, and they're going to have the opportunity to push here. Stay a while and listen, catches two. Li Ming killed in the back by that water elemental and the Hanzo damage. Pilata getting a ton of scatter arrows thrown. Less than 40 health, and there it is. Hanzo with the double kill. That's 3 dead for Team Alexander Fanclub, and Quaranteam still very much ahead here. Level 11 to 9. Carbon trying to get as much damage as possible onto the Mei, though the self-healing from Mei very, very strong, as they're going to try to focus on this bottom fort. Bless you, Sneezer, indeed. I think we're doing okay though. Jochuggy managing to avoid the stun there from Mei, walking over top of those Deckard potions. Imperious trying to counter the push from Zeratul in the top lane. That wave clear from Zeratul is very tough. There's the ice wall though from Jay. We've got an engage here. Blizzard onto Chuggy. Gets stunned out. The Iron Skin is popped. Cookie Man in the back with the Void Prison catches 2. There's the stun. Oh, it manages to catch 3. Junkrat down. Lucio down. Li Ming down. Jay will be taken out as well, and the Pilata will have to retreat, dropping the Void Prison while the arrow from Hanzo was in the middle of the enemy team. Brilliant stuff there from Quaranteam. They grab bottom lane control, that all-important bottom lane control here on Towers of Doom. They're going to take the opportunity to back here. Johanna going to guard this bottom lane. The rest of Quaranteam a little bit behind here. Team Alexander will have a bit of an opportunity to push this, and it looks like Quaranteam will concede this bottom fort. At least for now. They're going to grab their own sapper camp, possibly look for an invade here. Chuggy still doing some work here, trying to push away Team Alexander Fanclub from this fort. And here comes the rest of the squad. Less than half health on this fort, but the rest of Quaranteam is here for the defense. Jay taking a lot of damage, having to pop that trait early. Healing back up to full health. Hanzo is grabbing the altars in the background. This is a lot of extra damage for Quaranteam as they take huge map control here on Towers of Doom. 36 core health, 218. Here comes the sappers in the bottom lane. Team Alexander Fanclub is going to have to clear these away. But without a minion wave here, they've got to step up to do it. This could be trouble here for Team Alexander Fanclub. Jay is making sure they're in the front line right now. One gets through. Going down to 17 core health, taking out the other 2. Quaranteam just really has to sit here. Zeratul is going to get all the XP that Quaranteam needs, and these 4 are just going to sit in the bottom lane. The Pilata trying to jump onto unaverted, getting a lot of extra damage onto the Hanzo. And Team Alexander Fanclub is in a really tough spot here. They're looking for an opportunity to flank, they're looking for an opportunity to poke in, but the wave clear from Quaranteam means that no waves are going to get close to this fort. Jay is actually going to get caught here, popping the trait once again. Iron Skin out from Johanna as well. Lucio did drop the beat with the sound barrier just in case. And once again, we're back to a stalemate. Zeratul actually working on this top keep. There's not a lot Imperius can do about this with this wave clear discrepancy. Junkrat trying to send those grenades back to the keep. Blessed Shield does go out from Chuggy. Doesn't hit anybody. They're going to go ahead and grab this sapper camp once again. This may be the opportunity Team Alexander Fanclub needs to move in. Jay is going to try to move onto the point. There's the Blizzard, unaverted, using that trait to jump over the wall, but the Pilata is there for the chase. There's a huge sleep there from Weary Day, hiding in that cubby. But Team Alexander Fanclub is on the chase here. Riptire is out, Weary Day in a lot of trouble. Deckard Cain is going to go down. Zeratul is trying to pick up these altars. He's going to grab the top right, moving towards the top left, but with Deckard down, it looks like Team Alexander Fanclub will manage to get up in time. They will manage to get up and get this top left one. Cookie Man warding away in the back. And it looks like Clover... Will there be enough of a delay? Yes, unaverted does land the scatter arrow. Maybe enough time for Deckard to make it back on the field here if Hanzo can keep up these delays. It is currently 5 structures to 1 here for Quaranteam. There's the Blessed Shield coming out. The Sound Barrier is perfect. Void Prison is out catching 2. It's going to keep that shield level high for the moment. Cookie Man is a little bit low. The Pilata very low, though. Carbon trying to chase with the Water Elemental. Can they get it? Oh, not quite. The Sonic Arrow, not enough, but Mei will go down here. Li Ming as well. The Scatter Arrow is doing so much work here from unaverted. And they are actually going to pick up this top right altar. That's a ton of shots going in. They're going to move into this mid fort. 6 shots left on the core for Team Alexander Fanclub, and Quaranteam has them right where they want them. They grab the mid fort. They're going to move towards the bottom lane. Zeratul trying to ward away here. They want those extra shots from the 6 cap. Zeratul is going to back on out of there.
Heroes, I have opened a tunnel near our core.
Bottom fort is going to go over to Quaranteam. It looks like Team Alexander Fan Club will avoid the 6 cap, but the sappers are pushing down the bottom lane. If 2 or more of these go in, then they're threatening a possible boss push to end the game as well. And there it is. Here come the sappers. Working on the mid lane is Team Alexander Fan Club. They're going to have to rotate down here because these sappers are very, very important. Ice Wall goes out, not catching anybody. The Pilata right onto Carbon with the spear from Imperius. And that's 4 damage. It's 2 extra damage on the core. Now boss is a possible win condition here for Quaranteam. There's the Scatter Arrows once again, making any problems life very difficult on that Li Ming. And once again, the bottom lane control is picked up here by Quaranteam. We have a triple altar phase. This is the worst possible opportunity here for Team Alexander Fan Club. They must take a fight here. The 6 cap by Zeratul. They're going to get 1 extra shot before Team Alexander Fan Club quickly takes back the mid altar. But I'm not sure what Team Alexander Fan Club can do here. They've got to look around and they've got to look for fights. Jaina already in the bottom lane looking for the cap. Jay up here trying desperately to stop this. There's the stay a while and listen, catching 2, and there go the shots. Quaranteam is going to pick up the game and pick up the series. GG. Really, really amazing work there by Quaranteam, doing a fantastic job there on Towers of Doom, understanding their comp, understanding their wave clear advantage with that Zeratul, and controlling that bottom lane, cruising to a decisive Game 3 victory. Hanzo with the 0 deaths and the near 64,000 hero damage, really the star of that game, putting so much pressure onto Klatzy and any problem in the back line. Very nicely done from Quaranteam. We saw the 31,000 hero damage coming out from any problem, but a lot of problems trying to get on those flanks, especially with Zeratul and Hanzo waiting in the wings. Very nicely done from both of our teams. A fantastic series. GG to the both of them.